Knock, knock, everybody. Derick Van Ness here, live in the Business Owners Success Lab. Hey, I just want to talk to you guys about some things that nobody's talking about, and you may not hear them anywhere else. Things are changing so fast financially right now that I just feel that it's impressed upon me as someone who pays attention and nerds out on all this financial stuff in the economy and what's going on, that I need to share this with you. So by the end of this video, you're going to understand some things that you will not realize or probably hear that much about anywhere else. And they can make a massive difference for you long term. A couple of things that I want to emphasize too, if you haven't heard about it, before I dive into like some of the stuff that's changing, something you can do about it tangibly starting next week is we are doing our small business tax masterclass where I'll be live just like this. You can type in comments, you can see what's going on. We're going to be talking about new tax strategies I've never introduced before. I truly believe that this year there's going to be a ton of changes with the new Biden administration. It's going to be important for you to stay on top of this stuff. But the most important things that I want to talk about, by the way, we'll put the link down below for the tax masterclass, but it's just biglifefinancial.com/tax masterclass. You can register there. I'll be doing an hour a day for 8 days in a row where you can get a ton of information. But here's what I want to talk about today. I just heard this statistic and it totally blew my mind. And then I looked around and it makes complete sense for a lot of the things I've been saying. It's just happening way faster and way more extreme than I had thought. So what am I talking about? I just read some statistics from a very reliable source that within the past 1 year, the money supply, the number of dollars due to our stimulus packages and everything going on, the number of dollars in the US economy has gone up by 40% in 1 year. That means there's, for every dollar that used to be out there, there's now $1.4 out there. That is unheard of in such a massive increase in dollars. So what does that mean for you, and why is this important? Here's the deal. And I've seen some other statistics. They vary a little bit, but several statistics from like Bridgewater and some other really high level investment firms have said that the value of a dollar in the past 12 months has gone down about 15%. So I haven't done the math on that. I'm just taking it from some of these really huge fund managers, but the value of your dollars over the last year has gone down 15%. So what does that mean? A ton of people right now, because of the PPP loans, SBA loans, stimulus checks, and other things, there's two groups. There's the people who are really struggling, and this will definitely affect them. But the group who also has a ton of cash sitting around right now, this is a real problem for you because your dollars are sitting there and they're losing value. And when you stop and just look around a little bit, you can see it. If we look at what happened last year, even though the country went in the tank, right? Everything shut down for 3 months. And a lot's been shut down for 6 or 9 or coming up on 12 months in some cases. But funny enough, the S&P is up 16% year over year. Gold's up 14, 15, 16% year over year. Bitcoin's up 340% year over year. And I did a whole video on Bitcoin and why I think it's gone up and what's happening there. It's all these dollars in the economy. Where I live in Salt Lake City, we were looking at houses and have one under contract. But literally, I was talking to one of the realtors and they said in 1 quarter, fourth quarter of last year, housing prices in that particular part of the county have gone up 20% in 1 quarter. Now, why would that happen? It happens because so many people have all these extra dollars, and we don't expect that it's going to get better. A ton of the money that's coming out in the new stimulus plan hasn't even been deployed yet. And they're talking about, and I'm not saying all this is good or bad. I just think it's something you need to be aware of, because if you're holding a ton of money in cash right now, your cash is getting eroded. And it's important that you at least know that. I'm not giving investment advice. I'm just talking about the economics of it. But in a perfect world, you're seeing the price of everything going up. So you need to be aware of that. And it might be smart to talk to your investment advisor if you don't have one. We've got some people that we really love and who can help you with that. But to be putting your money in a place where it's going up, because we all knew that due to inflation, you're always going to lose in a savings account, but it is stark right now. It's quadruple or 5 or 6 times worse than it has been in the past. And I don't expect that to slow down with, like, There's even some things being rolled out where people might get up to $3,600 per child over the next 12 months with stimulus packages and different things. We don't know what's going to happen, but what we do know is what has happened. And what has happened is $5 trillion-ish has gone into the economy in the last 12 months. That's 40% more dollars than we already had circulating. That's just so huge that I can't even imagine the impact it's going to have long term. So, if, if you have assets, definitely hanging on to them. If you're sitting in cash, this is the time to be aware that maybe it's not time to sit on that cash. Maybe you need to put it in a safe place where it can go up. There are a lot of solutions. We teach some solutions. We've got investment advisors that can help with that. Maybe you've got your own investment advisor, but you need to be having this conversation. If you're not talking to someone about this, it could eat your lunch. And it's happening so fast. Like I said, housing prices up 20% a quarter, all these other things, even though the economy crashed going up. And it's kind of crazy because I think if the economy hadn't crashed and maybe we hadn't pumped all the dollars in, but if this wouldn't be happening in the first place. But if the economy hadn't crashed and we pumped all those dollars in, you might see the stock market up 40, 50%. You might see Bitcoin up even further. You might see real estate up even further because that's how much money is circulating. So it's really important that you take note of this. I'm not telling you what to do or not to do. This is not investing advice. This is hey, look around, pay attention. You're going to see it at the grocery store. You're going to see it in other places where the cost is going up and up and up. On my YouTube channel, I did a video on inflation. Listen, if you got a bunch of student loan debt, this is great news. If you own property, guess what? Your mortgage is going to be cheaper. Yeah, the dollars are going to be the same, but you're going to have more dollars to pay them with. So it's going to be great. So if you're sitting on a bunch of debt, that part's great. If you're sitting on a bunch of cash, you definitely want to pay attention to this stuff and put your money where it can at least keep up with inflation or where you've got some reason that you're keeping it on the sidelines. So I just was dumbfounded by this statement and by this statistic. I wanted to make sure we got the word out for you guys so that you can really think about it, start paying attention to this stuff. I mean, Ray Dalio has been saying this for six months that cash is trash. None of us want to hear it because if we take and deploy our cash, then that means we don't have it for our businesses. But we need to be smart. Any extra that you don't need for working capital, it might be smart to start putting that somewhere where it can grow a little bit, keep up with at least some of that erosion of the dollar because it's definitely happening. Anyway, I'm doing my best to start giving you guys these kinds of updates because I think most people are so busy with their business. You're so busy trying to figure everything out that you don't have time to pay attention to this stuff. And normally, if it's not a big deal, I wouldn't bring it up. But an extra 40% in dollars over the last 12 months is scary as heck because it's just such a tidal wave of money that it's going to have a massive impact. The other big things you can do is stay abreast of the tax strategies and different things like what we're going to be going over next week with the Small Business Tax Masterclass. We do one of those every 6 to 8 weeks. The next one is February 15th. So, starting next Monday. So make sure you don't forget and that you check the link down below. Other than that, being smart, paying attention in your business. Maybe you need to raise the prices. Maybe you need to raise the salaries of your employees. But you keeping an eye on this, you don't have to do anything immediately, but it is happening. And if you know that your dollars are going down by 1% or more per month in value, there's a little bit of a clock on it. You don't have to go crazy. Don't do anything rash. This is just to start the conversation for you. This is not alarmist. It's not going to change your world overnight. What it is pay attention, make good decisions, be smart with your business, be smart with your cash, and pay attention for your employees' sake and so forth. If you can raise prices a little so you can pay your employees a little bit more and profitability still works, maybe those are the kinds of things that are going to be important to help your people too. So anyway, it's a huge conversation. It's continuing to evolve. I imagine it will continue to evolve this year. So I want you to be smarter with your money. I want you to be more successful. If you have questions, feel free to pop them in the comments down below. But the reality is, big things are happening. We're seeing changes literally day by day in all kinds of worlds, in real estate, in crypto, in lending, in obviously in the stock market with what's going on with cash, with inflation, with the economics of what's going on with coronavirus and the new administration. I'm kind of a nerd about economics, so it's super fun and interesting for me to keep track of. But if you're not watching, it can catch you with your pants down. Anyway, that's all I really had. If you like this video, please smash that like button. It really helps us to grow the channel and get more people here so that we can help them. But if you need anything else, feel free to drop them in the comments down below. I'll answer anything that I can, and we'll put the link there for the Small Business Tax Masterclass. Anyway, my name's Derick Van Ness. Appreciate you guys stopping by, and we will see you sometime in the future.